Hello and welcome to episode 1 of my Stardew Valley tutorial Let's Play series. This episode will be on an introduction to Stardew Valley. First, I want to dedicate this series to Riven, because without her kindness and generosity this series could never have been made. So thank you very much, Riven. Stardew Valley is on Steam and priced at £10.99 or $14.02. It is developed by Concerned Ape, and as of the 3rd of October 2016 they have just released version 1.1, which gives you a choice of start locations, which we will take a look at, and also a few other changes as well. Okay, let's get this started. When you first see Stardew Valley, you may assume that it is a basic game because of the 2D graphics, but if you delve deeper you will find a beautiful story-driven crafting game, and my hope is that I will show you this and how much fun this game can be to play. So let's start with a new game. Okay, now something new with version 1.1 is you can choose these different start farm locations. This standard farm is how the default game would always start up until version 1.1. I'm going to do this series with the Riverland Farm. The main benefit of the Riverland Farm, well, this one here has a large amount of open farm space, but there's much more to the game than farming. With the Riverland Farm it gives you better access to rivers, and you can fish really close for river fish, and you're going to be successful with your hits far more often than, well, about 90% more often than the standard farm, or any of these indeed, for fishing. Let's turn the sound down a little. The forest farm is for you woodcutters, loads of trees, which if you think about it you can just plant the trees, so that one is mute because of that. Hilltop farm, the main benefit of the hilltop farm is you have a patch of ground where rocks, copper and goads will spawn. Now once you clear this area of its rocks and copper and goad, then you'll find each new day that one or two or three possibly, in fact one day I see 4 spawn, 1 gold, 1 copper and 2 stone. So each day it's a random amount of resources that you'll get, but normally on average it'll be 2 stone or a copper, something like that. So the main benefit of this hilltop farm is that you can get copper very easily without having to fight creatures, but you don't get a vast amount. Having said that though, over time you can accumulate the copper. And then last but not least you have the wilderness farm. Now all of these have in common that they do have a bit of farmland, but obviously not as much as the standard farm. With the wilderness farm, that does have a fair amount of land. It has a big lake for you to fish, but your success chance will be low. What this is at night time monsters will appear, like bats from about 7-8 PM will start flying out and you'll get loads of bats. This is for those of you that like combat and want to do lots of fighting. So like I say though, I'm going to choose the Riverland Farm because I like the fishing and farming. Okay, so let's put my name in and let's give it a name. Now I was going to call it Rivervale after one of my favourite zones in another game, but I'll call it instead because it's more fitting. Okay, and of course this, it's got to be fishing, was my favourite thing. Okay, over here I'll choose the dog, and I won't skip the intro as this is the first time that I'm going to be showing it. So let's get started. Nice little introduction. Basically, wait until he kicks a bucket. Such a lovely story. Okay, so many years later. Here we are at our work, stuck in a booth, doing the grind. And there we are, stuck in our little booth. We look like we're about 5 years old, so what we're doing at work I don't know, but anyway. Okay, let's open that letter. So there we are, that's what the gift was. Deed to his place. Let's get started. Lovely, lovely story. So here we are, travelling on the coach to Stardew Valley. Yeah, sure, he's tidying things up. He's emptying the place. Basically, the idea is that you've got to clean this place up. I always find that a bit weird, someone coming out of your home before you even made it your home. He's obviously been helping himself to Grandpa's silver. So, one robs me and the other insults. Wow, this is a great new place to live. Yeah, that's going to be one of our first quests, to introduce ourselves to everyone that lives in Stardew Valley. When you do the quests, you're normally rewarded with some gold. See, now that should tell you a little something about the fact that he works at night. During the night he's going to come by and collect that. How dodgy is this mayor? The only one I've ever heard of that does moonlight flits. Anyway, there we go. So what he's saying is this wooden box over here, we can store stuff in it that we want to sell. Okay, so whenever you sleep in the bed, that is how you save your progress. You basically walk into the bed, as you're going to see in a bit, and it'll ask if I want to sleep. And when I say yes, then it'll save when I get up. Over here's the movement keys and shift to run. What we'll do, right click on this package, and we'll get some parsnip seeds. Okay, over here you can see is the journal. We can press the F key or click on this. And here's the two starting quests. Introductions. It would be a nice gesture to introduce yourself around town. Some people might be anxious to meet the new farmer. So far I've met two people, the mayor and that other person. I've got 26 more people to greet, and the way I'll do this quest is meet them as I walk around the town. So I'll leave that quest for now. Okay, the other quest, getting started. If you want to become a farmer, you have to start with the basics. Use your hoe to till the soil, then use a seed packet on the tilled soil to sow a crop. Water every day until the crop is ready for harvest. And that's our next quest, cultivate and harvest a parsnip. Okay, now when you first start, here is all your tools. This is your hotbar that you're going to be using. There's the seeds we just got, there's the watering can, and there's the hoe. What you should do though, get into the habit of, is watching the telly every now and again for a few different reasons. Okay, you can see what the weather's going to be like for if you want to know whether it's going to rain or not for the next day. Fortune teller can tell you how the gods are towards you, and living off the land gives you some good tips, so we'll click that. Yeah, so there's a good tip. When you chop down the trees, you can sometimes get seeds, in fact, that you can plant. Or when you harvest the, using the scythe, when you harvest the grass, you can sometimes get seeds. From the trees, you can also get the acorn seeds and other types of tree seeds. So here we are, here's our big plot of land. Now we want to turn this area in front of our farm, in front of our house, into the farmland. You'll notice with the riverways, you've got a load of big rivers, and we can do lots of fishing successfully. So the first thing though is need to get our crops planted, because the crops and farming is the main way for making money. You see these that drop, the fibres, we'll be using them for crafting, so always make sure you keep them. Right, okay, so I want to clear a bit of this land, so I'll change to my axe for the wood and pickaxe for the stone. You just scroll your mouse wheel and you can go to each different one. Now, a handy thing to do at this point, if I press the E key, let's quickly run you through this. By pressing the E, it brings up this options here. It starts with the inventory, which shows you all your current items. You'll see I've got a seed already, which I can plant. Next, it's got skills. As we use the different skills, we will gain points. And when you get to this midway, each time you gain a skill point, you get a bonus in that particular skill. But when you get to these middle here, you'll get a very good bonus, and again little bonuses, and then another good bonus. So that's all the different skills you can get. Next, your social. As you meet people, you can make friends with them and you can give them gifts, and with some of them you can end up marrying them. And that's one of our first quests, is to go and meet all these people. Next, we have the map. So here you can see the different people, where they live, With some of them, like Clint, who's the blacksmith, it doesn't tell you that this is where Clint is, but he's the blacksmith. Same with the museum. It doesn't tell you who's in the museum, but there's another person in there. There's the JoJo mark. So that's the map. Different bits of the map will open up as we progress within the story. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, next we have crafting. Here's the few items we can currently make. As we advance our skills, new recipes will open up. Notice when you press the E key that takes you into your inventory, the game is paused. Now before update version 1.1 it would say paused up here, but trust me when I tell you it is paused even though it doesn't say paused, because you won't see the time advancing. So there's the crafting, and more recipes will open up. The very first thing you should focus on doing, in my humble opinion, is chopping down trees, getting 50 wood and making a chest, because you only have a very limited amount of pocket space to start with. So the chest is your very first goal, should be anyway. Next we've got collections. As you collect different things, whether you're doing fishing or mining and getting artifacts, minerals when you're mining as well, cooking different foods or achievements, they'll all appear in here. Then you've got the options. Now in the options there's only one thing that I enable, that's always show the tool hit location. Very handy for when you're hoeing the ground. And last but not least, if you need to exit. So let's come out of there. Okay, so I'm going to just clear some ground here, get rid of some of these stones. Now, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is next get rid of some of these bushes and now start planting my farmland. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position myself in the middle, use the hoe and then just left click. Ooh, too close. There we go, left click all around myself like so. Now at the moment I'll have to water these manually, but eventually what I will be able to do is build water sprinklers, and the advanced sprinkler will do all the way around. The first sprinkler though will only do north, east, south and west of me, not the corners, but we will get a better sprinkler eventually to do the whole arc. You'll notice as you're doing anything, chopping, hoeing, fishing, your energy over here will go down, so always keep an eye on that. If you run out of energy you will collapse, and then the game, you'll be charged by the doctor for recovering you. Okay, once you've tilled the ground like so, then plant all your seeds that you have. Important to get all the seeds planted as quick as you can, because that's how you're going to make money. Next, highlight the watering can and then water each individual plant until we've got a sprinkler. Then we won't have to do it manually. You'll notice as you water, your watering can gets empty, but it does allow for quite a bit of watering. Usually once I've done the whole batch, what I'll do is then go and fill it up. You face the direction of the water with the watering can highlighted and then left click and it'll fill your watering can up. Okay, so that's my crops done. Let's now take a look at some fishing. Actually, before the fishing, let's get ourselves 50 wood, because that's how much you need in order to make a chest. And like I say, it's very important to have a chest, because our pockets will get full. So I'll come over here to the trees and start cutting some down until I've got my 50 wood. Seed I can plant. Did you see that? eventually we'll be able to make fertiliser to get better crops, higher level crops that is. Okay, 44, so we need 6, I need 6 more wood. That's the only thing with the trees, you can't see what's behind them. So I tend to chop them down so I can see. But I'm going to leave that tree there because I'll be using it for planting, for attaching a tree tap to it eventually. My energy is getting low, but I should be able to do what I need to do on the first day. Okay, so I've got plenty of wood. Now, I usually put my chests right in front of the house. Why not? So if you press the E key, it brings up this. Go to crafting. You can see we can now make a chest because we have 50 wood. So let's place the chest down. Highlight it and just then left click where you want it. Make sure you stand close enough. There we go. Right click the chest. We can now store all the excess items we don't actually need. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this colour bar because I don't need it. That's something new with version 1.1. If you left click it, will remove it. Here's an organise button, and what that will do is put all the types of items that are similar. So fish and mushrooms will all be put side by side when you click organise. Here's the bin if you don't want something and you want to destroy it, which I don't recommend because nearly everything is usable or sellable. Okay, let's do a bit of fishing. Now here's the main benefit of choosing this Riverways farm. Oh no, I can't do fishing yet, I need a fishing rod. Well, eventually I will get myself a fishing rod. I've got to wait for a mail from Willie, the fisherman. For now, if I look in my pocket, I can see I've got 500 gold. So what I want to do now as quick as I can is go to the shop before it shuts and buy all the seeds I can afford. You'll see these little worms in the ground. When you see them, highlight your hoe, left click, and you'll get an item. So that I can now go to the library and see. You'll see also foraging. That's something you want to do. Forage the plants. Each season has different plants that can be foraged. Each season has different farming plants as well. And later on you'll see it's important to get each season's plants and foraging. Okay, so what I want to do is buy all the parsnips I can. The reason I'm going for parsnips is because I can get more of them because they're cheap. Tulip bulbs as well, but I'm going to go with the parsnips. So I'm going to buy as many as I can afford. There we go. 25, that'll do for now. What I will do though is buy one of each type of seed before the season ends. Well, as soon as I can in fact, one of each type of seed, because you'll see for later progress for repairing the town hall you need to have one of each of the different types of crops. Okay, see this plant over here? Always go forage, because again for the town hall we're going to need the different foraging plants for each season. Okay, now that I've got all of them extra seeds, I'm going to quickly plant them. And then remember to water them. Okay, now what I'm going to do is another row. I'll keep them in line as well. Like this, yeah. Right, I'm starting to be exhausted, so I've got to be careful. I don't want to fall on the ground, faint through exhaustion, because then I'll have to pay a doctor's fee. Okay, that's as far as you want to go. Now I need to sleep, else I'll pass out. And if you pass out, it costs gold. I don't know what happens if you pass out with having no gold. See here it shows the gold. Here you'll see it shows the time. If the time gets past 1 AM, you're going to pass out. Always make sure you go to bed between, latest you should go to bed is between 12 and half 12. If you leave it later than that, you risk getting knocked out. Okay, so to go back into the house, walk up to the door, right click. Now walk to the bed, and you'll see we get an option to sleep, providing one of our tools are highlighted. If a plant or some other item is highlighted, you'll see you don't get the option to sleep. If you highlight one of your tools and then walk into your bed, you see you do get the option to sleep. So then just click yes. That will then replenish your energy and save your game. I've noticed that since version 1.1 it doesn't completely fill your energy up. It used to, but not since version 1.1. Now sometimes you only get half the bar full. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So let's go check the telly first. Let's show you the fortune teller. Okay, so it says they're going to be happy with me. And if we check the weather, bear in mind it's for tomorrow. Rain all day, excellent. That saves me watering the crops and burning up my little bit of energy. Okay, so let's do the rest of these seeds. Now, another reason for me doing the parsnips is because they're much cheaper and I could get many more. That means I can do much more farming, which means I can skill up my farming quicker because I've got more plants that I can sow and harvest. And each time you do any farming action, of course, you're going to get the skill for doing it towards your farming skill. Once I have my advanced sprinkler, then I will go for the most expensive crops, as you're going to see, so you make more money that way. Cool, look at that, and you just got them all watered. But like I say, tomorrow I don't have to worry about that. Okay, we've got a mail, as denoted by this envelope icon. If you right click the mailbox, there we go, there's Willie the Fisherman. So now I can go get a fishing rod. Let's deposit these 2 daffodils in there to start with. Notice that some of the plants will give you energy, not the daffodils though. They make a nice gift to people, which you can give to them on their birthdays. Okay, now to head to the beach, we walk all the way to the right. Oh, if I bring up this journal, you'll see to the beach. Someone named Willie invited you to visit the beach south of town. He says he has something to give you. Visit the beach south of town before 5 PM. Okay, that's what we're doing. So to go to the beach, you'll walk all the way over here, right click on anyone you see, and then that way you've got your introduction for that quest done. Oh, there's the 30-minute timer, wow, how quick. Okay, so now that we spoke to Maru, if we go to the journal and introductions, you'll see I've met now 3 people, so 25 more to do. Also, if we look in the journal and social, you'll see there's Maru, and I can give her a gift to get my first heart in friendship, if I give her the right gift. Different people like different items. Anyway, that's the 30 minutes up, so I'll end it here because this is only the introduction to Stardew Valley, and we'll progress in the next episode. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.